Hello,
Hey there.
Hi.
and welcome to episode 202 of Come Get Your Podcast. I'm your host, Adam.
I'm Dustin.
And I'm Chris.
How are we doing, gentlemen?
Doing okay.
Good. Warm on this Saturday morning.
I was telling
It was delightful, but now it's crossing over to warm, yes.
I was telling Adam when he stepped away to go get something to drink. Because you were like, it's warm, and I'm like, my building really just like is insulated well because I don't have my air on, and you know me, I'm a sweaty kid. So me not having my air on, it's like, okay, you're holding the temperature pretty nicely. I like it.
Good insulation.
Yeah. Typically, our house is good with that. Like, we have enough trees where we stay in the shade enough. But I had the windows open this morning because I love that breeze coming through. And I think it started to get a little humid, as like Adam was saying, as you were leaving your thing this morning. That was about the moment I was like, okay, I need to start closing these windows and turn the air on, man. It's getting warm.
I wore a shirt that was like a little thin, and I was like, I went to a state park today. If I was going to be hiking around, I was going to inevitably be sweating anyway, and I didn't want to sweat through that shirt and just have everybody see my business.
Yeah.
They're lost, honestly.
Right.
They're lost, but it was a work function, so I had to be.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's like I just got out of a pool.
So I put an undershirt on, and then that shirt over that, and like by the end of me, like when I was about ready to leave, I was like, oh man, this is. The situation that's going on underneath both of these things right now is not good.
Yeah. I cannot wait to shower.
Yeah, it's going to feel wonderful.
Yeah.
When I'm able to. Because I came home and immediately hopped on.
Yep.
It's going to be worth it, though. It's going to
Oh,
feel
absolutely.
great, and you're going to feel clean.
I hadn't, and I also hadn't like hiked in a bit. Let alone with one of my dogs. So that was actually very nice and kind of, mind resetting, even though I was at work briefly, technically.
Yeah, you told us
Being
that
outside, man.
You told us that Rizzo met some new things, huh?
Yeah, he met a bunch of people this morning who he's never met before. And most of those people have at least heard about him, so they were excited to meet him as well.
Heard the stories about the good boy.
Seen some pictures and stuff like that. And
Best boy.
So I had some very excited people to come up to him and give him attention, which is all he really wants.
It's what he's destined to have, It's attention and love and everything, So, all you listeners that haven't had a chance to meet Rizzo, you're missing out. Just throwing it out there.
Thoroughly.
And then there was also, I'm pretty sure the noises that came out of him the first time he's ever seen a horse.
Yeah.
I've been in close-ish proximity to a horse.
Can you introduce him?
He was confused.
Can you introduce him to cows next?
I can try. But that was the other thing too. It was like there were horses that there were 3 or 4 carriages just running back and forth from 2 different sites we were at, and so like 8 horses, 10 horses, something like that. And I was like, man, I need to back up a little bit because if this dog spooks these horses with people on the back on a wagon, I was like, I can only imagine how much trouble it would be in.
Then I'm that guy.
Then you just walk away and be like, whose dog is that?
I don't know.
Never seen him before in my life.
Somebody
come get Rizzo, please.
Because horses are cool and all, but cows and how they interact with other animals is awesome.
I prefer horses.
That's okay. We know.
Cows are just way meaner.
Are they really?
At least the cows I've interacted with have been very territorial.
Oh, sure.
Didn't like people up in their space, which respect.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Horses are just big dogs to me.
They're cool.
Cows are more like cats. Horses are
fair.
dogs, cows are cats. That's the title. There you go.
That's
Okay.
fair. That's fair. Yeah, there we go. There you go. Right? Who's editing it? Write that down.
That's one of you
me.
two.
All right. I just know it's not me. That's all I know.
Yeah.
The last time we recorded, I made the effort that weekend to completely redo my office. Like,
And you were successful.
I was.
from what I've gathered.
I fully deep cleaned my office, and like there are things in my closet here that I haven't even touched since I moved in. So I went through some of those boxes, and then of course there's that millennial in us. It's like I shouldn't throw this away. I might need it. No, throw that away.
This could be
You didn't
worth
even know
something.
that was there for 5 years.
One day.
Throw it away.
Yeah, one day you might.
Throw it away. I had like old modem boxes in there. I had like just it was gone. I threw a lot of that shit away. It was hard.
Good on you.
Admittedly.
Good on you, man.
It was hard. It was hard. But yeah, it's
You're an inspiration for me.
You're welcome. Thanks, bud.
Because I did the same thing. Like,
Hell
I think
yeah,
you
man.
did.
I
Not
want
in my office, starting in the other areas of the house, but
I want to do it now to like my bedroom next, and I want to get like these like I want to get blackout curtains for one. You know, because
They're amazing.
The minute of
how have you not invested in
No
those already?
shit. Oh my god.
you want to know why? I'll give you a simple
Why?
answer. Because I'm fucking lazy.
Okay, fair.
Hey, you're preaching
Game
to the choir
recognized game.
here. Yeah, what are you talking about?
Because I'm lazy, and I have
Dude.
those like old school like plastic like curtains or whatever shades, blinds, whatever they
Oh.
call it. I fucking hate those things. So like
Yeah.
my plan is to take those all down, and I saw. I'm sure Google was listening to me at one point because now I'm getting advertisements for like blackout curtains, and it's like there's this like magnetic thing that looked really cool. But if I do that, I want to also completely like change what my bed is, reorganize things and everything like that.
Redecorate.
So it's like,
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Freshen
again.
it
Like,
up.
the whole kit and caboodle. You know.
This is adulting.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I hate it. It's awful, but it feels
Yeah,
good.
it's
afterwards.
awful, but it's awesome when you're done.
yeah, it is
Right.
So
That
like
feeling when you're done, reorganized, it's just like feels like a new space.
yeah, like
Well, and if you redecorate too, that's another one.
But,
Like, you know.
yeah, like now in my office, like there's like my desk is now like turned in the middle of the room now, which feels
Okay.
it feels pretty cool. Like it feels like I have more space in here now than I did, even though
So
I
much
did
room
because
for
my back
activities.
my desk used to be in the corner and my back was facing the behind, and I never like saw most of my room. But now I have like a whole bare wall in front of my desk. It's like, what can I put there now? So I've been looking at
Stuff
some
you want to look at.
Yeah, like I'm gonna look at some displays, because I have the one,
Okay.
the Final Fantasy IX Vivi one that my buddy
Yeah.
Gary bought me for my birthday years ago, and it's like there are some really cool ones that they have out there, like a lot of cool Elden Ring ones and Mass Effect ones as well,
I think they have some new Night Rain ones recently that are pretty sweet looking.
So yeah, the gears are turning, but that shit also costs money, and try not to be as spendy on things. But yeah, so I plan on in the next month to tackle my bedroom, do a big
process.
deep clean on that, and then
But you're doing it the right way, piece by piece.
Yep.
So.
Not
yeah,
biting off more than you can chew at once.
yeah, man. And I had to do the office. So that's the thing is like, I didn't want to be like procrastinating on it. I gutted everything, and I was like, well, now I have to do it. Now this is your workspace. This is you have to edit a podcast now too and everything. So it's like you have to finish this.
Yeah.
You got to get this done.
I was mad.
Gotta get done.
I was mad at myself. You motherfucker. But then I was proud of
The
myself.
amount of time I
Yeah.
spend being mad at myself is truly astonishing. But I think that's most people.
yeah.
Yeah, it's what fuels me most times, most days. Shame myself into doing things.
You lazy sack of shit.
Yeah.
Nobody likes you.
Well, that's not true.
I know.
Not even close.
Oh, so things have come out to play that you two have purchased. I have not purchased yet.
Yeah, hit that.
Elden Ring,
Yeah.
Night Rain. Speaking of, how are we feeling?
I fucking love it, dude.
I do too. Yeah. I'm into it. It's a good time. It scratches that itch like when I don't feel like doing another New Game Plus run of Elden Ring, even though I have Elden Ring installed again because of Night Rain, so maybe it's potentially making me want to get back into that, but
I'm keeping my game sharp.
If I
yeah. What's going to screw me up is the 0 fall damage in Night Rain.
That's true. That's true.
I'm going to get got
Oh, 100%.
in Elden Ring. It's just going to If
If I could only just, I'm not asking you to buy another game, but if you played Night Rain and then went to Dark Souls 2, that is probably the degree of like you're not used to fall damage that you're saying was an Elden Ring.
Yeah. Like I'm
The
already
Elden Ring's
worried.
not that bad. I'm just saying.
I was gonna say no. I'm more worried when we go back and finish our Dark Souls 3 run,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh god, I just step off something. It's like,
No, I'm good. Man.
oh
I'm
my
good.
knees. Yeah, shit. But man, Night Rain, you can jump to your heart's desire, like
Fling yourself off that cliff, bro.
dude,
Wow.
big heights.
You just yeet yourself. I'm good, man. I will say
That's
if
your
I
Jeff
if
jumping
I-
into a volcano.
Yeah, Jeff. Well, I mean, in his defense, he didn't die when he jumped in that volcano. He just was on a pillar that he had no exit towards,
Surrounded by lava.
Sometimes you gotta test your boundaries and just see what happens.
well,
He made us go see his predicament, and we both laughed very loudly.
we laughed and
Throw
then
that-
left.
Throw
You're
that
on your own
spaghetti
bike.
at the wall.
You just lost a level. Good luck. Have fun.
I will say, related, if I do play a single player Souls game, it's probably going to be Lies of P though. I gotta play that and beat that because DLC was Shadow dropped yesterday.
I have even more content to get through.
Mm-hmm.
But Night Rain, yeah, man, it's a good time. The roguelike elements are great at maximizing the runs and trying to get the good stuff. You got to be, one thing that we've learned is that you got to be fast. I think a lot of us get really stuck on like looking at the loot and stuff. It's like, man, now time, you got to be efficient with your time.
If it's not blue or purple.
I gotta go, man.
Well, yeah, and it's the crazy thing is that it's like it's just the things you learn, right? It's the roguelike elements that you're just as you go and you learn new things. So like it's a very big thing within Night Rain where it's like even if let's like say you're a magic class and a two-handed or a great axe drops, you're not going to use the great axe, but what ability or guess boost is attached to that great axe, you may still pick it up and have it in your inventory. You don't necessarily have to have it equipped, but you still gain the benefit of some of them, not all of them.
Sometimes it's worth.
Right. So it's like it might boost your sorceries or it might boost something else. And it's like, you better pick that up because that's going to actually help you just being in your third right arm weapon slot. You're just never going to equip it.
yeah, I know that's conversations we've had, Dustin. You're like, there's staffs here. Does anyone need it? I'm like, well, Dustin, what kind of...
Right. I mean, early on.
What
And like,
passive
now
does it
it's just
have?
like, now you just like, you take a glance at those things. And you're like, that's nothing I need. Boom. You're gone. You're just running. You're just like, I'm out. I don't care. But there are other elements, right? Like if you do see the symbol where there's like a hand on it, you have to have that equipped to gain that buff.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
it's just being quick at like recognizing what you need to pick up.
Yeah. What you
And
need
just
to
kind of
look for.
moving. Like as Chris said, like it is very much like always be moving.
Yep.
The ABCs.
Yeah, man.
always be lifting.
I think I said. Did I say that to you? I think I said ABM. Always be moving, Dustin.
Yeah, ABM.
Oh no,
always be moving.
I
Just
said
keep going.
always be mapping.
Yes. Because I'm
just-
terrible at using
Looking
my
at the
map.
campsites for the elements that are there and all that stuff.
'Cause-
Yeah, so there was a earlier this week there was or last weekend maybe a Night Rain tournament where there was like 12 different teams and there was like based on what you did during your runs for a certain Night Lord. You'd get points, and obviously defeating the Night Lord got you more points, and like all this other stuff, and it was interesting to watch. So like I've been studying people's VODs that they've posted on YouTube, just so whenever I end up purchasing this game, I'm at least a little prepared for like good strats on what to do and what to look for.
Yeah, so you can kind of see, right? As they're just running constantly.
Yeah,
I gotta
they
loot
were-
that. We gotta go.
One guy I follow on YouTube, his team got to level 11 at the end of day 1.
It's,
Yeah,
I mean, it's possible if you maximize those
that's a
runs,
lot.
man. And that's the thing. That's like, it was funny because Jeff, Ben, and I were playing, and Dustin was like, "Hey, you guys want to share your screen? I could watch." And then he was watching Jeff, and like Jeff was just constantly his map, and Dustin's like, "Man, you guys are just always in your map." It's like, hell yeah, dude. We're like, where's next? We gotta
Finding out
go
where you're going
and
next after
plan
you
it
do this
out.
thing.
Go to the church. Wait, I'm gonna map this out. But like that's also the downside of like playing with you and Jeff, and like you guys are always in the map pinging, like, we got to go here, let's go here. And it's like, I just need to follow. I don't even need to open the map.
Hey, one of these days,
you guys
when we play
got
next, you're the navigator, man.
Yeah, well, my streak's gonna end then.
Boy, all right. It was a good run. It was a good run.
But no, that's kind of why I want to like maybe play a couple solo runs and just like, because then I have to map out everything and look at it.
And there you go. Because like you said yesterday, you're like, man, I'm not good with Wilder or anything. I'm like, dude, there you go. Like play him as solo and get accustomed to it. Because what do you have to lose? Nothing.
Exactly.
You know, like your streaks multiplayer. It's ain't a single player streak. Keep that in mind. So don't be afraid.
Be for brave.
Be for brave.
Very true. That's very, very true.
But it is a good time. And I know when you both had played the network test, you said how good it was. I was at that point still apprehensive, like, man, multiplayer Souls, how are they gonna do it? The circle is a battle royale stuff. So, like I had that like
twinge of
oh,
doubt.
like, is this gonna be good? And then it's been a good time. Like yesterday, on my lunch, I went and did a solo run. You know, like, hell yeah, let's see what I can do real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
I'm
say
glad
that
you guys are having fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like the game actually coming out, it's definitely more fun than what I know Adam and I had in the beta, but it's obviously way more open. There's other
two runs.
Yeah, exactly. We only got to do it a couple times, but it felt good, right? Like you could feel the elements in there. It's just the characters they started us with in the beta is, you know, like you don't start with Duchess, which is interesting, but
well, they add some like story elements to it, you know, which is nice. Yeah. Like obviously, like Elden Ring is known for, or like Souls games are known for their like story in certain ways of how they tell things, and it's the same kind of way, like reading items or anything like that. So it's got my curiosity, and I can't wait till Vati makes a video on it, because it's like, I think it's set far after Elden Ring or something.
It has to be, or there's like a fucking convergence from the Witcher games, and now all of a sudden that's why everybody's crossing.
Yeah, because it's like they've some of the characters have been like, I heard there used to be a big tree here, and it's like, what do you mean used to be?
Used to be.
What are you saying?
Used to be.
But it's good time, and we were talking right before we started recording about like some things that, at least in my opinion, like it's like at first we were like, man, I wish I would do this and this, like kind of things to like quality of life or make things easier. But now I've been thinking about it since the game's come out. I'm like, I don't want them to make the game easier, you know, because that's what kept us going back and trying more and more, you know, because it's like we wouldn't be playing if it was. We still wouldn't be playing probably if like we were walking through these bosses, you know. Like I'm grateful that it is difficult and you do need to learn, and like if you get killed by a boss, what did you do wrong, you know? Like, oh, he does it, like recognizing move patterns and stuff like that. That's a Souls game for me, and I know like me and Ben have talked about this. Like his play style for Souls game is, you know, just brute forcing it, and you can't do that in this game. You can't, because it's like if you lose to the end boss at the end, you know, the night boss or whatever, the night lords, and you go back, like that's a whole 35-minute, 40-minute run you have to do before you reach that boss again. So it's like I don't want that to be necessarily easier. It probably will get some tweaks and some nerfs, quote unquote, but I don't think it's going to be like massive, you know, because people are beating these bosses. It's clearly possible. So it's like I don't think there's going to be a mass nerf, you know, by, you know, maybe some tweaks here and there, but even then I'm like, I just don't know what it would be. Like we've said things like even before we recorded, like when your teammate dies and you have to revive them, like it's like, man, it'd be cool if it kept those bars from your resurrection, you know. So if you get one bar down, it doesn't go up past that. But then in my mind I'm like, but at the same time
they would just make it so easy.
They would make it like eventually it's like, then you're not learning the boss encounter. And that's the whole point of these of bosses in these games, is learning the encounters, learning the movesets and stuff, you know? So I'm back and forth.
Like maybe a grand relic that you could have that would let you try the boss again, but like to balance it, it's you would have to get several other high tier relics to combine them in order to make this, and then it's like a one time use.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like
you're only allowed to hold one. So.
Yeah, or like you lose a level or two and you can retry, but like you can't just go right back in full power. Because like that, I mean, I would reattempt it, but I'm telling you, like what we were talking about just before we started, like imagine if you lost 2 levels with the ability to go back in and try the boss. You might want to try, but like, damn, that's going to be harder.
Yeah.
Much harder.
Yeah, and if they had something like that, I wouldn't want it to be like try again, but the boss is going to be the health that you left them at. It's like no, I would be like a rewind, like you're
start over.
Yeah.
You're starting completely
Start
over.
all over again.
Because that is the thing, right? When you're out in the world, like, because I didn't even think about this. Like we've seen some strategies where it's like fight this boss, get him down to half health, quarter health, whatever, and then as the fire rolls in, go to the circle, defeat the day 1 or whatever boss, and then you can go back and like their health is still where you left it. So it's like, oh, that's easy. I mean, you could almost kind of game it in that way of like, oh, I've already I've put it on layaway, coming back to buy the rest of it. But I don't know, like because we tried to do that last night, right? Like those trolls were near us,
Fuck those,
and we
fuck
took
those trolls.
dude. The trolls are the worst. When they're throwing pots, it is
Fucking American snipers out there with these goddamn pots,
bro. It is. They might be the worst. They might be the
Kyle.
toughest enemy. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But I don't know. We played last night. We beat day 2, and it's like we tried to run around out in the fire before ending to the final boss, and we were looking for that damn troll. We took down one, so we need to take out the second one, and I think he disappears because he's so close to the.
Well, I don't think it's I think it's part of that because the other day we had a similar thing with Tree Sentinel where we were fighting it and then like the circle wasn't closing. It's like, we don't have time for this. So we were like, we'll come back right afterwards. And I saw him in the middle. Like he was close enough that I could see him in the fight encounter. But then like once we killed the boss, it just disappeared. So like my theory is that like bosses disappear like right away. Like enemies will still be around for however long and stuff like if they're around so you can kind of clean up. But like Jeff linked the video to us. It was like, yeah, you can go and clear out mobs and basically like get max level. And I'm like, that doesn't feel right.
That doesn't seem right.
And then it's like, then we looked it up further. It's like, no, they don't allow you to do that.
I sent that thing from Reddit and that guy was like, after 100 seconds, it took him out. And it was like, it's from software. They're not going to let you just
there's no way
run around, gray site to gray site, just re-healing, getting all your things back, and then just run around in the fire. Yeah, they're not going to let you do that.
There's only one.
It just makes it trivial at that point.
Yeah, there's only one run with Jeff, Ben, and I where all of us got max level, and we annihilated that boss. Like, and and we had like the effect against it. I think it was the poison, the gaping dragon, and so it's like. Or Gaping Maw, whatever his name is.
Like
and it made it
jaw, but we call him the Gaping Maw or whatever.
He's like an alligator dragon or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Hippo. He's a real son of a bitch.
Yeah, and that's like one of those bosses where it's like, as an example, it's like when we first started trying to attempt it. I think Dustin, you were in the group with me and Ben. It was like, man, we just never have time to attack. What the hell? And it's like, man, these things are too tough. But it's like now, like a week later, like. We're good.
Wrecked it. Yeah.
Like we're doing better, and that's the whole point of these games in a nutshell. Is like
absolutely,
and that's why I don't want it to be easier. I don't want it to be where we're going through these bosses so fast because then we're not going to want to play anymore. And it's like, okay.
Now I would say a caveat to that though is that we're blessed in a way that we're constantly in parties with people we're actively speaking and talking to. I would wager that if you're playing solo, like with like an actual trio, just with other people you can't actively speak to at all. It's a little more difficult to be like, hey, he's, boss is now looking at you. He's coming at you. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to revive somebody. You can't warn them. What are you going to do? Like you just have to be on your toes. So like, I think there are elements of it where if you can't communicate other than pinging stuff, it's probably more difficult. Right.
its own difficulty.
Yeah, exactly. But like we get to play as groups, and we're all, hey, let's go here next. Ping. Like, yeah, let's go here. Like, we're actually talking and strategizing it out. Like, hey, we're gonna go into the mine next. We're gonna do this. Let's go to an Everjail. And it's like you'd have to be pinging that, and then because I've seen stories online of people being like, me and Wilder pinged this one location. The Recluse pinged another one. I was closer to the Wilder, so we went over there, and the Recluse just dropped. Because it's like we're ignoring them.
Well, that's
like,
what a bait.
Come on, guys, what are we doing here? Like, don't be that. Like,
yeah,
there's just an element like you have to play as a team when you're a team. Like you have to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think that's a difficulty thing that we really haven't had to deal with yet. At least not nearly as much as what I'm seeing.
I think we've had that in a different way where we're trying to decide where we want to go, and there's been miscommunication as well. Where I have things pinged, because this happens too, because Ben said he doesn't look at the map either, with us. So like me and Jeff are like, we're gonna go here, and we ping it, and then he thinks it's the thing closer or a different building, and then he's by himself, and it's like, dude, what? Like, no, we said go here. Like, he's like, oh, I thought you meant this one. It's like, no, and
I look at the ping. And then I look at you guys, and I just keep following, and it's like I don't think that's happened to me.
Yeah, and I love Ben. He fights these little enemies all the time. I'm like, will you stop wasting your time on these fucking little mobs?
Run past them.
Come on. Like, we need your help over here.
You're in Limgrave just taking out those little groups.
Yeah.
You do it.
But I'm also, I'm just as guilty of just running in like, I got this boss. Like, I've died to just mobs, and I'm like, I look around, and I'm like, I thought you guys were here. Like, oh no, you're going there first. It's like, oh, well.
Oh, I thought we communicated. I mean, that does happen. Oop.
The only thing with that, Dustin, I would say, of not being able to talk to your teammates is like, I don't know how much that matters on most bosses. I think the only boss where it's like an advantage of is the sleep boss, to coordinate when to get it out of its like to use your move to like get it out of its sleep, or when it does the nuclear bomb thing. And it's like, then it's like that's where it is easier to coordinate 100%.
I could actually, and we're sitting here talking about them potentially nerfing bosses. Like, I could actually see them potentially nerfing some of these classes.
Iron Eye is too strong.
Everything I understand is Iron Eye is too strong.
I love Iron Eye.
He's great. Character. He's a good time. But he can do some work.
I can shoot my super through walls and res people up 2 flights. That's pretty sweet.
That's a little strong.
Well, yeah, like bosses go into like last night we were facing a dragon, and he backed up and was gonna like get into the air, and I just popped in with my super and went, stay down here. You ain't going nowhere.
That's not too strong in my opinion. Like, that's what it's supposed to do.
I should be able to stun them out of that.
And I think one thing that we learned, that I feel like we learned yesterday, is with that boss fight for sure, is that I think we use our supers, or I think we try to save our supers for resurrections.
Save it too much.
But it's like, no, we need to like use it, because
last night I used it as an offensive thing and was like, I'm not using it to res you guys. But we didn't also need it. So
the only one I think that should be saved is probably Revenant, because like her one makes you invincible, but also like resurrects everybody. You know, it's like, that's an oh shit.
But she's a support. Yeah. Yeah. Full support, basically. So
I hate hers. I never use it.
Going invisible.
Go invisible. Okay. And?
Yeah. The boss is right there waiting for us to become.
He's doing a big AoE attack.
We're about to get fucked.
But anyway, I'm really enjoying it, and I've played it probably every day since it's come out, just about.
Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like it once you get to it.
I'm sure I will.
It's just fun, and for the price, I really enjoy the price. I don't know. I pre-ordered the one that's gonna have the DLC whenever that comes out, so I don't know what's gonna come out with that. But like,
it's not
any more content would be great.
I think they said like extra like bosses and stuff, and there's also gonna be new classes too, like fairs.
That would be cool, right?
What it's gonna be exactly, cool. I don't know, but. Trying to think of what
It'll be a surprise. It's FromSoft. They'll figure something out for you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a purchase for me at some point. I just don't know what that point is yet. Because I'm still enjoying. I'm just playing Elden Ring and going through with a faith build that I have a very good sword for.
Hell yeah.
and Seal 4. So I'm doing like a spell sword on God's side this time, and it's melting a lot of people.
As it should.
And I want to go through the DLC with it to see how strong it can get there too. So I've been doing that, and then Balatro, of course, just because it's so easy to just play and
chill and play it,
and then be done when I'm done, and I can just come back to it whenever.
Yeah, it's so good that nice and chill play, and then lose 8 hours of your day.
It happens. It does happen.
It's dark out. What happened? What?
Oh my goodness! What? But that and well, as I think we're about to get into, there was Summer Games Fest yesterday, and there was some reveals where it ended up making me like buy a game I have been wanting to play for a while. So I'm going to be doing that next. But we can get into Summer Games Fest first.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the bigger one, because there's 2 events this past week. There's PlayStation State of Play and Summer's Game Fest. And Summer's Game Fest has obviously like many publishers.
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to start with like the Big Daddy like reveal, or do we want to?
I don't know, man. I'm good either way.
Yeah.
Because Resident Evil 9 got announced, y'all, and what a good reveal that was too. Because they teased it throughout the event. I don't know if you guys watched the full event or not.
I did. Well, sorry, no, not the first. Like, I came in during Ill.
Okay, Ill looks fucking sick.
That was a good one to come in. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had like
they
had the voice actors for Lady Dimitru come in and like basically just talk about the Capcom sale going on. And people like thought like, oh my god, an announcement, and then nothing. And then they show then Jeff Keighley was like, we have like a legendary developer, blah blah blah, wants to talk, and it showed like the creator of Resident Evil, I forget his name, and he was just like, I know you guys are wanting more information, but trust me, it's coming soon. It'll be here before you know it, like within a blink of an eye. And people are like, oh man, why do they keep like there are literally people getting upset about it. It was so funny watching it. And then at the very end, they actually like revealed it, and then it's like, I mean, he didn't lie. He said within a blink of an eye.
Right.
And
It was.
Just gotta wait a little bit.
It was wonderful, immaculate trolling.
it really was.
Perfect. It looked good too.
It looked good, and the hypest thing I have. First of all, it's called Resident Evil Requiem. So Resident Evil 9 Requiem, and they did like that. It's what they've done with 7 and 8, where it's had that like it ties in like the 7 and stuff with it.
Yeah, the numeral ties into the
7,
title.
8, 9.
Yeah. But the thing I liked the most about it is it showed Raccoon City after the nuke. And like it showed the police station. So it's like, you got to think that they're going to go, some part of the story is going to take place in there. Right.
Gotta imagine.
So the rumor is, and I'm sure we'll hear more about this video game within the next month for sure. But, for one, it's out February 27th next year, which is awesome.
Hell yeah.
But the rumor is that the main character is Grace Ashcroft, which is the daughter of one of the protagonists in Resident Evil Outbreak, which I never played. It was like that. It was like the co-op multiplayer shooter on PlayStation 2, I think it was. So it wasn't for me at that time. But the rumor is that it's Leon Kennedy is going to be the other character. Oh. So I'm wondering if he goes back to Raccoon City, or has some PTSD or something, But it makes me curious, because it's like it's what I told Adam, like when you had stepped away, Dustin. It's like it's kind of like the MCU thing with the Celestial Island. It's like, what the fuck is? We're just not going to talk about this big giant thing in the ocean.
Just
it's like
nobody's going to reference this.
It's the same with Raccoon City. It's like there's like minor references, but it's like, we fucking a city got nuked. What do you mean? Yeah. We're not going to talk about that.
Talk about it? Yeah.
Not even like a little bit. No. Okay. Well,
just once. Can we reference
something? No. Okay.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see more. So I wonder if they're gonna go first person shooter or if they're over the shoulder. Because
you gotta imagine it's probably first person. That's my vote.
Yeah,
and then just to keep in line with everything.
I think because they're showing the characters, it's going to be third person though, over the shoulder.
That's the vibe I got, was that it was going to be over the shoulder. But
I can see
you
them
guys have
doing
played more of them than me.
Well, with Village, you could do either or. Like,
Yeah,
True.
So
Yep,
they
switch back
probably
and
will
forth.
even have that, because they didn't have it for 7 and 8 for the most part. Because like the Ethan was the, it was one of those like silent, or not. He wasn't a second protagonist, but it's like you put yourself into that role,
Yeah.
faceless protagonist, So, but I could see them do either or, to be honest.
Time will tell. And again, 2026, but it'll be right around the corner.
Yeah, it'll be
Unless
here
there's a
well-
delay, obviously,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I kind of feel that there won't be a delay because they've held on to this for a while. So it's like
kept it pretty hush.
Yeah, like everyone had obviously rumor mill was like Resident Evil 9, announcements coming soon, but like we didn't hear anything for it, so I think it was even people thought it was going to be announced at Video Game Awards in December, but I feel with like this kind of announcement, this is the date.
They're confident this is coming out. Yeah,
Yeah. If it does
I'd
get pushed
agree.
back, with that said, that's fine.
Yeah,
totally.
obviously.
So, but yeah, I'm very hyped for it. I love, I really enjoy the Resident Evil series.
It looked good. It looked very good.
Another game that looked good, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to peep it out, but End of Abyss.
Which one is that one?
It was kind of like a. It's not like isometric. I'm trying to think of like what kind of style it is, but it's like you're controlling this person. Like
I thought I read something that said there's like a 2.5 D isometric type game. Would that be what it's referring to? Maybe
potentially. I just don't know what kind of game it is, but it's
yeah.
It's kind of. You control this character kind of like isometric, and you're shooting, like at monsters and stuff like that, and it's kind of like an adventure.
Sure.
The best thing I can compare it to is like Cult of the Lamb with how you move around and stuff. It doesn't look like Cult of the Lamb, but it's like how how it seems like it controls is Cult of the Lamb-y, So I think that looks cool because I really feel like that's like would probably be a really solid. Steam Deck game, but I don't think it's going to be on Steam Deck because I think it's Epic. But you never, damn it! But
yeah,
I still think it'll be.
You never know.
It looks very intriguing.
I would say when I came in, it was for the game Ill, which is by I forget who. But I honestly thought when I originally tuned in that it was a Resident Evil game potentially.
Yeah, based on what it looked.
Yeah, just on everything we're seeing. And it also like echoed a ton of from RE8, when you're in the dollhouse level. A lot of that vibe. But I'm very very much wanting to try this game out because it looks bananas in a great way.
Yeah, I thought
so
it looked wild, and then when they showed one of those bald, slippery looking dudes like being gigantic, just like shoving itself down a hallway, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like
real fetus coming down the hallway in RE8 vibes.
It 100% was that vibe, and I was like, I'm in.
I was like,
like you got me. Like,
but then the kicking of the little creepy baby cracked me up. I was like, all right.
Fuck yeah. I laughed so hard at that. They have a vibe going on that they nailed. Also, like it seemed a little. There's like a moment where there's somebody in a power suit looking thing.
Yeah.
With a very powerful weapon attached to it.
It came in and
for
then
some reason I got like Half-Life vibes from that. I don't know if you guys did or didn't, but
kind of. I'm trying to think of like what it kind of reminded me of. Maybe like at first I thought it was like a stalker game.
Fair.
It seemed similar to that, but yeah, it looked good.
It did look good. And what were some other bigger notes for you guys?
Well, it wasn't Summer Games Fest, but on PlayStation, I think we got some more news about it on Summer Games Fest as well. I always said it was mentioned, but the new James Bond game.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah, dude.
Like 007 First Light, I think it was called, and
Yes.
A
giving
young
me
James Bond.
young like getting his numbers. I think they said in there at some point.
Yeah.
And it's given me that that Uncharted Nathan Drake. It's gonna fill that hole, I hope, in my heart.
I hope your hole is filled.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
So filled.
But it looked really good. Based on what we saw, it really seems like, spy. There's action, of course, and it looked like there were some spy elements, in there as well, like stealth. So, yeah, I was.
I didn't watch it during the event, but I finally watched the trailer like yesterday, and yeah, man, I'm sold.
Yeah,
that looks great. And I'm intrigued to see what IO can do with a much more narrative forward game, because obviously we have the Hitman stuff that is fantastic, and there is a through line and a good story to all of it there as well, but it's not as pronounced as I think it will be for this First Light game.
Mm-hmm.
But
so the gameplay is going to feel great.
100%.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm excited for it because, like, I don't know, I love James Bond.
Yeah. I'm interested to see it, like we were saying, like just a young James Bond. It also sounded like there's other agents within there too. So like I'm just interested.
009, right?
Yeah, like it just seemed like it. I'm curious what the story's going to be. Considering the most have access to James Bond has obviously been the movies, but it's probably more of the more recent movies than I know. I need to go watch the Sean Connery ones, but
Well, I mean, my introduction to James Bond was Pierce Brosnan, like GoldenEye.
Same.
Like that's my Bond, because that's like the first one I watched, and like GoldenEye the game and the movie will have always a fond place in my heart. But
yeah,
Sean Connery is fucking dope as
James
does a
Bond.
good Bond.
He had some shitty,
does a good Bond.
Does a good Bond.
He had some shitty personal stuff, personal ideals, but
well, that's everybody pretty much. Not that I'm excusing it, but
but one in the James Bond game, Lenny James is one of the main people.
Lenny,
yeah, not that, but yeah,
Lenny,
who played Lord Shaxx in Destiny, who played Morgan in Walking Dead, and probably a role some people would be familiar with, but Robert Hawkins in the show Jericho, which I loved that show back in the day.
Oh yeah,
that was a good ass show, man. Underrated, but
ended too early.
Yeah,
I'm with you there, Chris. I'm with you there.
What a good show. But I'm looking forward to seeing more on this, and it's like I don't even know who's playing the Bond protagonist.
I don't know. I have not looked that up. I probably should.
But yeah, it's very intriguing. Because I mean, like, Bond's the hot topic, overall, like in media, because like there's, Daniel Craig's not Bond anymore, right? Fantastic Bond. I need to go watch Casino Royale again, because what a good, because also Le Chef from that is going to be a target in the Hitman World of Assassination. Le Chiffre. And Mads Mikkelsen is playing him.
Great.
And again, to get some Mads, like, hell yeah, I fucking love Mads Mikkelsen.
But then, like, who's the new Bond gonna ever be? I mean,
in the real world, not this video game version.
In the movies, yeah.
There was an article I saw that got published by somebody reputable, like almost not Variety, but close to that level. That was talking about how it was Henry Cavill, which I would like to see.
I mean,
I don't know about you guys.
I never saw him in Mission Impossible, so I've only watched like 2 of those movies. But
you're missing the best one.
Look, man, I'll get to it eventually.
Hey, man, that mustache,
dude,
fucked the DCU.
Yes,
that was the only cause. No,
I think he could play a good James Bond, 100%. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But people believe. First of all, the actor for the video game one has not been revealed at all. But people believe.
Okay.
Yeah, but people believe it's Patrick Gibson, who is currently known for playing Dexter in Dexter Original Sin, which I haven't seen.
Oh,
But
okay.
they said like the face looks like it. You know, obviously the voice isn't going to be exactly the same because he's an Irish actor with a British accent, but plays an American like Dexter. Like, but that's who they think it is. So,
well, and I'm probably wrong, but isn't Michael C. Hall, who played the original Dexter, isn't he not American?
I think he's American.
Yeah, I thought he was.
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, it's been a while. Like, I don't know.
I haven't seen the original Sin. I heard it's good. They
also heard it's good.
They also have Dexter Resurrection coming out soon, and I've heard that's gonna be. It's got Peter Dinklage in it. You know,
Dexter fans eating well right now.
you know, the New Blood was okay. It wasn't terrible. So
I never checked it out. I'll be honest.
you should. It's not bad if you like Dexter. I mean, it was decent.
Yeah.
Like, Dexter ended like garbage. So
Yeah. That's what makes me pause.
Least
Yeah.
favorite endings.
Yes. Should
um,
have stopped after 4, right? Whatever, 5 or whatever.
damn, they got Peter Dinklage
5.
and Uma Thurman in the Resurrection. It's gonna be out next month. Sign me up.
Uma.
Sign me up. Anyway, sorry. That's who they think it is going to be, though.
Okay. Hey, I'm down to clown.
I can see the resemblance, right? I mean, you're talking with James Bond
yeah,
still,
Patrick
right?
Gibson. Yeah, if you look at somebody
You
like a
can
side
see
by
it.
side, and it's like,
Yeah.
I can see it. But I'm looking for it. There's so much potential in a good James Bond video game, and that also makes me really want, like, where the fuck is the Splinter Cell video game at? Also separately, you know, because that reminds me similar in the same vibe.
Now we can't be greedy.
I know. Let me be greedy.
I just want more.
I want everything.
I mean, a new Splinter Cell would be fucking
Well, they said
amazing.
I mean, how long ago did they say they were remaking the first one? Like, also, you know, like
4
a
years
minute.
ago? 5 years ago?
In
Even
the-
longer?
in the same vein, where's our fucking Knights of the Old Republic remake?
Yeah.
Is that still happening? They're still
Apparently.
doing that?
Apparently.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Come on. She's poking it with the stick.
Yeah.
Video
Do
game.
something.
But they also showed off some more gameplay of Animusha, the new one coming out. I'm replaying the first one because you can get the first and second one on PlayStation and Steam and everything. So it's good to go back to play that. And I'm going to play the second one after that, which I don't even remember playing it back in the day, but I'm pretty sure I did. So that'll be interesting.
Close enough.
I was excited to see more on Metal Gear Solid Delta, just because, again, I know we've all talked about it. Like, you guys have recommended that game so much, Metal Gear Solid 3, that it's like, I've never played it, and you guys don't recommend bad games. So I've just been waiting for this to come out, right?
I appreciate you recognizing this because that's a tagline I've said. You know, it's like that's I do not recommend bad games to people.
You guys don't, right? So it's like I fully trust you. So it's like this is the one that's been on my radar since it was announced, right? So like seeing anything on it, like I know, Chris, I know you're trying to kind of stay free of seeing anything. It looked cool. It looked very cool to me. I do have a question at the end of what they showed, which was interesting. I don't know if that's something new. Was there ever a multiplayer aspect to it?
There was.
Okay, so I'm curious. Did you watch the trailer, Adam?
I did, but I didn't remember seeing anything about multiplayer. Because what I saw was that single player trailer got leaked like a week before.
Okay.
So I had already seen that. So maybe they didn't have everything that the actual trailer did.
Yeah.
So.
There was an element at the very end where it was like you were blending into the foliage, and then he crawled across the rocks and then laid down and then basically looked like rocks again. But it just as the transition into the new camouflage kicked in, another like character came in off camera, like, and almost was like looking around. So I was like, is that part of the gameplay? Is this a multiplayer aspect? Are there like potential invasion like mechanics with PvP? Like I had
maybe
questions on that because I was like, what is that? I don't know. Is that a part of the game? I don't know what that is.
100%. There was a multiplayer element in the original version.
Yeah.
Or not at release, but eventually with the subsistence version that came out, that came with a multiplayer element.
Yeah.
And it was kind of ran like, did you ever play Fives multiplayer?
Yeah, a little bit.
So similar-ish.
Okay.
You just try to, I think there were a couple different modes, so I was just playing like TDM kind of stuff.
Okay.
But
sure.
you could play around. At least one level that I always remember is in a place called Grosnograd, which is a large set piece in single player. And you would just sneak around there trying to take out enemy people.
Okay.
I don't know. I always enjoyed it.
I mean, it's possible that the trailer was just showing off, like, I don't know, probably new camouflage mechanics or something, or like the way it looked, but like just it caught me as like, oh, is that multiplayer? Like, is that what that is?
I will have to give that a look-see, and I can let you know.
Yeah, it could just be camouflage. Like, hey, we're just showing off the camouflage because it looked very cool. It was just it could be just an enemy NPC, but it felt to me like a character or a player coming in off camera, like looking.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah.
It's Metal Gear Solid Delta trailer. And I'll do the one from 2 days ago from IGN. It's a minute 50, basically.
Yeah. It's like a minute 48 or something.
Oh, God, it's so loud. All right, I'm doing this live.
Live reaction.
Okay, this is not the trailer I saw, partially, anyway.
Yeah, this trailer was cool. I mean, I haven't played the game, so it caught me.
So far, everything is... God, this looks so good.
Yeah. It got me amped for it.
God, everything is single player at the moment. And they're really showing all the boss fights. Man, I can't not wait to fight the end with these kind of graphics. Let's see. Okay, we have Volgan with Shagohod. Single player. I mean, this is all going to be edited out, I guess. I don't know, because there's not... Okay, the apes are back. Are we still doing this at the same as what you've seen so far, Dustin?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like at the very, very end.
Okay, yeah. So August 28th, yay. And this is the part at the very end.
Yeah. Like very cool camouflage.
And he's got a ghillie suit on.
Yeah, and then lays down.
Now he's rot.
And then
that guy,
is that an NPC?
Nope, that's multiplayer.
Right? So I was like, is this PvP that they just cool camouflage mechanics at the end and then PvP?
It was somebody that was dressed as like a normal guard you encounter all the time in the game.
Yeah.
But then he started sprinting, and I don't think they really do that often.
Right. It was the look
at the rocks. Yeah.
And then took off.
And then it says, and more. I think that's PvP.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I haven't played the game, so I was like, what is that? Ooh, what is that? Like, so I just something, caught my eye right there at the end.
Yeah. To me, that says there's going to be multiplayer in it, which, okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
Man. That one really, I think that's really the only, I want to say, trailer from the PlayStation State of Play that really caught my eye, like in that way. But again, I've been, based off of your guys' recommendation, I've been just like anticipating that game coming out, basically.
I am
other than James Bond, the First Light. I mean, that just looked very cool. But yeah,
I'm calling it out. There's multiplayer.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave your reaction in. That way people
hilarious when I'm wrong.
Right? That's just an NPC. Like, oh, all right.
Well, you got me.
Just camouflage mechanics, guys. Oh, all right. But they looked fucking cool.
It did.
Came right out of the jungle and the rocks. You're like, oh.
Okay.
All right.
Because that was looked like it was using the only reason I'm saying it's definitely multiplayer is because it looks like it's using the active camo mechanic from 4.
Okay.
So because that is not a thing in 3. In 3, you can change your camouflage, not super on the fly, but you go into a sub menu and you can choose based on what the environment is doing around you.
Sure.
But that was like the active camo from 4.
Okay. Yeah, and I only ever played 5, so
we're gonna be eating good, guys.
Yeah, man, that got me jacked. I was like, yes. And like you said, it looked so good. Because like I've obviously seen clips and videos of the original, and it was like, no, it looks fun, it looks cool, but like seeing it in that form and that updated, like, oh man,
yeah, that got me.
I'm juiced for that. Yeah,
that got the blood rushing.
Chris has got his fingers in his ears trying to avoid everything.
Sure. Yeah,
I disassociated.
Yeah, I was staring off.
I bought some things from Amazon while you guys were doing that thing.
What did we get?
I bought some dude wipes because I like that shit.
Hey,
and
nice.
And some shower loofahs. I have a weird thing with nylon texture, so I have to buy special ones if like it's a rope, like handle. I don't know how to call it. That's not nylon because it's like my brain does not like that nylon feeling and sound. I'm shuddering just even thinking about it right now. So,
hey,
yeah, my ear hurts. Now I have to go take medicine soon.
My ear also hurts.
I had ear infection this week, so I hope my right ear was swollen. So that picture I put in Discord was not an anal cavity. It was my ear canal. So you guessed wrong. But
why not both?
Hey, give me some time.
They're the same picture.
Turns out. Yeah, we're
I think it's time. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting parched. Dustin's got to go golfing soon, and
sweat my ass off outside.
We're gonna
be worth it though.
Discorner. We got a couple of corners. As a reminder, you can join our lovely Discord. That's in the description of our episodes. There is an invite link. Please feel free to stop in and join in and ask questions. We got a whole dedicated channel for you cuties. Use it in there. Talk to each other amongst yourselves.
Come on in.
Come on in. The water's nice.
It's like butter.
First one comes from Bone Daddy-O. They would like to know, ask CGY boys, if you could hang out with one of the characters from Lord of the Ring for a day, who would it be and why?
I think I'm gonna have to go with our boy Drew too.
Gandalf.
Now, which Gandalf though?
Absolutely. The gray.
Okay.
Good. Sure.
So and also he says Drew 2 said, I know I'm not one of the boys, but Gandalf easily. First of all, you are one of the boys. We're all one of the boys.
Of course.
If you're in the Discord, you're a part of the boys. We're all the boys.
You're the boys.
BOYZ.
Boys.
But you are also correct in saying that it is Gandalf. I'm going with the gray. I don't know what he was thinking.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice. Seems more chill than Gandalf the White, obviously.
He likes to hang out with his friends. He shows up when he rolls up when you want him to, not necessarily when you want him to, pardon me, but when he wants to.
Meant to, precisely on time.
I can go with that relaxed kind of vibe and hang out.
Under the same vein, man, that's why I'm going Pippin, bro. Smoke some pipe weed, I'll get 11sies, maybe some second breakfast. Just chill.
Breckies.
Plus, I think I'd also, ipso facto, get to also hang out with Mary, just because, But
he would probably be a part of that, yeah.
But I'm going to go Pippin, just because it's my boy.
Lord of the Rings is overrated, but I'll go Gandalf.
Fucking dare you.
Gandalf the Grey.
First of all.
As well, because for that reason as well, I don't like he'll be around when I feel like I need him around, not just be like around there all the time, you know, because your boy likes, you know, I gotta have that recharge time, and he's gonna recognize that and just disappear, and I'm like, perfect, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like some of the others would stay out there welcome sometimes, but yeah.
I'm looking at you, dwarves.
Gonna have to toss me.
Yeah, so Lord of the Rings overrated. So Jeff allegedly asked, at CGY Boys, how would you spell the sound of a sniff? Hashtag discorner.
I'd probably just remove the S and N from sniff and just do IFF.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like if you do it, like it just, that's...
EPH, maybe EPH. I didn't get that, no. But I don't know if you heard my sniff as well. Like my Audacity captioned my sniff.
Yeah, but I think mine did too.
Okay,
same.
EPH.
We all
though,
sniffed.
EPH.
I could hear that too.
Also, it depends on what if you got a cold. Then you got the snot, and it's like.
I forget what the term is, but I mean, like I would just spell it like it's spelled how we spell it.
Yeah, just how you've got it in there.
Yeah, you've already done it.
That's, I guess, just the sound of it. I don't know. I just remove the S and the N and your. I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me.
I concur, because I also thought the same thing when I first said, I'm like, isn't that just what it sounds like? And it's like,
yeah. Isn't it already spelled that way?
Maybe not the N as much, the S, like SIFF.
Maybe.
You know?
Jeffrey allegedly.
You all right, man?
I tried to do Jeffrey and then add that into allegedly, and it just, I mush mouthed it. I had a stroke halfway through.
I was like, we need to call it that.
It's a heat stroke. It's so warm.
We good? Oh God.
Also, if you were cool, Jeff, you would respell your name to GEOFF. Wow. That is the superior.
Wow.
Geoffs.
Did something happen? Like
no.
Yeah, he's starting beef.
Like, I haven't had that with you guys in a little bit, but like, what you all right?
No, we're peachy. You know, I love bonding time with Jeff. We've been hanging out a lot lately because Night Rain. It's been great. It's been wonderful. It's been grand. We both
I don't believe you.
Talked about our love of hot dogs. I am the Glizzy King. Don't forget it. Our next one comes from Look Out Zombies at CGI Boys. What's the most, in quotes, adult thing you do that you still feel completely unqualified for? Now, I answered this in the Discord, and I surely mean it when I say just fucking life, man.
I feel like that's the correct answer.
Is everything a good answer? Because
yeah, right.
Everything, life, bills.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, because upstairs I am not an adult. You know what I mean? In my head, in between the ears, I am not the age that I actually am. So,
because I think I did I allude to this on one of the previous podcasts where it's like I look at our friends and people that are like families and kids that go on vacations, and I'm just like video games.
Yeah. Not rain.
I don't like. I want to make some chicken nuggets and have a good day, and you know, not
first
do
of
adult
all,
shit.
hell yeah,
exactly, man.
Right, right.
Like, you know, also food tastes better shaped as a dinosaur. I'm just gonna say that again. Like, it just or cartoon characters, man. It just tastes better.
Sure,
I don't know. That's science.
Sure. I mean, you gotta keep that kid like wonder, man, and the humor and joy. I think that's the secret. So I don't know. I you nailed it with life, man. I don't know. You just do. It's weird.
I think
I've somehow wrangled my way into having a decent thing going on, but I have no idea how.
Right?
I tripped and fell into
that's
it.
That's what I feel like. I almost like wanted to say at work. I was like, I feel like I've failed upwards at times. Like, how did I get here?
Yeah. We're white males. I think that's part of it.
That's
sure.
That's very fair. That's very fair.
Misty's like, you just do whatever the fuck you want and get away with everything. I was like, yeah,
that's fair.
Touche.
That's fair.
Touche.
Right,
I try to use it for good where I can.
You're right.
Try to be more aware.
But you know,
I think
I definitely felt like I was gonna say I definitely felt like I was failing upwards, and then they outsourced my whole thing, so that's been fun.
but But now you can relax and figure, like,
Dude.
some stuff out. And
I'm in my
not have
office
to
right
be
now, and
stressed.
there's a whole different vibe in here, man.
Yeah,
And
it's not stress.
nice. No. So,
What I was gonna say is I think the important thing in recognizing this even for myself, which is what I'm trying to work on, which is like we alluded to, like reorganizing my office and stuff, is finding that healthy balance of keeping that childlike wonderment and excitement, but then also like being an adult, and it sucks. Like I fucking hate doing chores, I hate cleaning, I hate grocery shopping, and it's like you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Don't want to do it, but
I gotta do laundry today, and I'm not looking forward to it.
I fucking hate doing laundry too, man.
this whole adult thing is for the birds,
I agree.
who are a government spy program, whatever.
Birds
Never
aren't real.
Birds aren't real. They're
Get Misty
charged
in here.
on
We can talk
telephone
about
poles.
that.
We're the drones.
Yeah, if only. She's at Pride right now.
But
I would have her come in to talk about that.
separately,
Yeah.
Happy Pride.
Yes.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Lee,
You're welcome.
you are loved. Be so unapologetically you.
100%.
Fuck the haters. That's all I have to say.
Fuck them kids.
No, don't do that.
No, wait. Oh, sorry. No.
Not like that.
Don't do that.
No.
That's
Yeah,
all.
Happy Pride, everybody.
That's all we had from Discorner.
Thank you guys for sending in your questions to us. If you, other dear listeners, have something on your mind you'd like us to take a stab at answering on our next episode, you can send it our way. We do have I technically have a Facebook and Twitter, I guess, but as Chris so nicely put earlier, we do have a Discord. So this is your second reminder. Come on over to our Discord. We have the link to join in the description of this episode. Click on that. Come sign up. Say hey. We're gonna have some fun times, I think, ahead. So there is a channel specifically for questions, and just drop it in there. And then on our next episode, we'll answer it to the best of our ability. And along with sending some questions, make sure you tell every single person you know, friends, family, strangers on the street, come listen to your favorite voice on the internet. Come get your podcast. We are on pretty much every podcasting thing out there at this point. We are on Podbean, Google's podcast thing, iTunes, Spotify. I mean, you name it. If there's a RSS feed for a podcast, we are there. But as always, we end every episode with a shower thought from Reddit. And this week's comes from user the Smartass1.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, we just automatically assume that eggs and recipes means chicken eggs. That is going to do it for episode 202 of Come Get Your Podcast. I've been your host, Adam.
I've been Dustin.
I've been Chris.
You need them possum eggs.
Ostrich.
Happy Pride, everybody.